It's motherfucking Coco, baby. What up, everybody? Welcome to a new series called Chaos Child. It's gonna be a really interesting gameplay. Welcome to the Chaos world. If you're new to the series, this is going to be based off the Science Adventure Chronicles. Very popular in Japan. If you're new to the channel, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. And if you are already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button. With that being said, let's go ahead and hit that intro, and we'll get things started. DJ Tiz, por favor, hit me with that intro so we can get this gameplay. Alright, life is Nani being small. What the hell? Chaos Child, if you're a god. So this is, we have to read, I love games like this because it has like a little bit of lore in it, and it helps explain a lot of the stuff that goes on in this game. I recommend not watching the anime for this because the anime ruins the game itself. It does not capture everything that the manga is about. The manga is super long, and the anime does not do it any justice. The game, on the other hand, this game was recommended by a friend from Japan who told me I should definitely pick it up. It sticks very, very close to the manga, and it does it a lot of justice. More justice than the manga. It says, if you are a god and the delusion becomes reality, about what kind of... Noids do you get? Is it the sensual world? The despotic world? The society? Despotic society, the destructive sanctions, or what up Nani, what up loco? Alright, let's see what's going on with the extra stuff here. Oh, I can't unlock the extra yet. Okay, I'm gonna go with configurations. I want to see if I can put subtitles for you guys, so that way you guys can, you know, don't skip the text messages. Nope. The image speed minimum, skip mode, read only, sound, everything seems good. Do we need any subtitles? So we got Takuru Eme Sarika O. We don't have anything about... Well, they're probably gonna put subtitles. Let's go ahead and press new game. This is actually a scary anime. Yes, it's a scary anime. It is. It's based off a scary anime. It's gonna start off very morbid, so just be prepared for that. Well, I found a random manga, but it's the most shit I've seen. Main character Blad, but bondage. What the fuck? The more this game... the game is based off a morbid manga. I wouldn't say it's like scary. It's more about the story itself. Let's just start it off and you'll see what I mean. November 6, 2009 AD, 10:28 p.m. Okay. It came without warning. Interesting. The whole city just went. It was a magnitude 7.8 earthquake with an epicenter directly under the city. Okay. The disaster reduced one of Tokyo's busiest downtown areas. A homeless man was saved from malnutrition by an organized volunteer group. But at the same time, a middle school boy punched a self-centered volunteer who would come to Shibuya to find himself in the face. It was the first time in that boy's life he'd ever been violent. I brush it gentle because you don't want to brush it to the point where your teeth or gums are bleeding. It's not healthy for your teeth. You have to use a medium hard brush because they have different types of brushes. Definitely brush your teeth at least 5 seconds After the strange earthquake in 2015, something else was about to attract attention in the reborn city of Shibuya. What the fuck is going on here? A lot of mystery. Bro, you don't know the different meanings of there the types you ain't finna survive college. You're finna suck dicks and start saying, I wanna suck their dicks. That's true though. You know when you brush it hard, your gums can recede and yeah. Like your hairline. What the fuck? Bro, sad how many things all there be the same. It's like you are, and you. There's three different types of you. Your, and you know what I mean. I got a scholarship. You ain't gonna get one. The fuck? September 7th, 2015, Sunday night. Called getting mad. I'm not a squeaker. A no life squeaker to yikes. So you are sound like a white feminist. What the fuck, a white feminist? How the fuck you know what a white feminist sounds like? What the fuck? Anyways, moving on with the story. A little more room would have been nice, but compared to the 40,000 yen per month place he lived last year, it was heaven. So this is what happened. They had called me into the other room. They told me this lady who rents the room, right? We rent this room out to this lady. She fucking had a whole bunch of fucking sacks of eggs underneath her bed of spiders. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is not the first time you fucking have spiders in your fucking room. Like, you gotta clean your shit. Like, clean your shit and then nothing like this will happen. But she fucking has a whole bunch of fucking spiders in her fucking room. And it's like, lady, like, you need to clean this shit out of your room, man. Like, stop being a dirty bitch. I don't know how to tell her, man. Like, she's fucking dirty, man. And she supposedly cleans the airplanes. I don't know. She must not even know how to wipe her ass. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, moving on. Next year, maybe I'll move somewhere more convenient. At 21 years old, Utani felt satisfied for the first time in his life. In 4th grade, he'd gotten big into online gaming and stopped going to school. Eventually, he'd stopped leaving his room altogether. Sounds like some Coco shit. Then he'd gotten addicted to drugs that made him sleepy but did nothing else. Sounds like weed. Once seeing only darkness in his future, he'd planned to commit suicide. A lot of people, by the way, in Japan, well, we rent out the room to her because we have 5 rooms in my apartment, right? And one of the rooms is free, so we just rent it out to her. So the rest of the house is clean. Like, we keep the house spick and clean. But this lady, her room, like, we can't tell her how to live, and we tell her plenty of time, like, bitch, clean your room, or you're gonna have to move out. Like, have you ever dealt with an entire nest city of black widows? Legit, there have been like over 500 black widow nests in my backyard. I have not, but like I said, that's why I can't complain. These are harmless spiders, but at the same time, you know, it's bothersome. You know, they kill the roaches if there are any roaches. They kill flies if any flies come in, but it's annoying because, you know, she should have her room clean as fuck, because that's why we have roaches. Yeah, like I'll have a pep talk with this lady tomorrow, man. She needs to clean her room, man. Her room is fucking dirty. Like, she needs a broom. I'm gonna have to buy her a broom. I'm gonna have to buy her something for her to throw her garbage in. Something. I might even gift her a vacuum for Christmas, man, because that bitch is fucking dirty. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna worry about that right now, though. But things were different now. Maybe Achan does tell the truth sometimes. Guess I'll have some cheese. This is Yuma Utani, one of the characters. He took a block of cheap cheese he'd bought at the supermarket out of the fridge. Usually, he never ate anything this cheap. Nikoyina, but on Nikoniya live streaming, it wasn't just what you said. How you looked when you said it also mattered. It's not about how you look, but also what you said. So kind of like when you go online and shit, like Discord. It's not only about what you say. You don't want to be edgy, but you also have to look how you look when you said it. The only thing with me are ants, but I haven't seen any in a long time. Sad part is that Neva's committed suicide due to a lot of school and no free time and overworking in Japan. The government over there is hella strict, almost daily inspections for companies. My bed cleans my room every day, so I'm good. That's true. Neva's over here always cleaning. Well, the friends that I have over there, right? Some of them have told me that work is very stressful. They do get to nap at work, which is great, cat naps. But they work very hard. They work overtime. They work a lot. It's just over here, I bitch about this because I stay at work sometimes very late, and they work more than that. They work like 14-hour shifts. It's crazy, mind you. It's not. This is what I try to explain to a lot of people here around my family or whatnot. They tell me, oh, you know, you work at a desk job. You're in an office by yourself, and you're in front of a computer. You don't have to be doing any heavy lifting or doing construction work, blah 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 blah. And I tell them, no, not to demean anybody who does construction, you know, props, you know, kudos to anybody who does that. I know you do that, Nani. You're doing that just for now before you go to college. But I tell them, like, it's not my fucking fault that I went to college. I went and got my certifications to get a desk job. It was just to avoid doing any of those hard labor jobs, you know. But here's the thing, working behind a desk job going up steadily. Late last month, when his streams had appeared at the top of Nikoniya's page, he'd seen a huge increase. Right now, he's gotten about 4,500, and it was quite possible he'd break 5,000 by the end of the month. Coco, would you ever come to Cali? No homo. Well, here's the thing. I have some friends who live over there. San Diego Comic. Where's San Diego? San Diego Comic Con is where? In San Fran? San Diego? No, of course. Friends have invited me to go over there, but most important, I don't know how far San Diego Comic Con is from where you're at, But they've told me about Cali also, because friends who live in Cali have told me to come over there. Hispanic people are completely different from Hispanic people over here in New York. They're more laid back, and it's just like it's a whole different culture. Like I said, you need money for all that shit. So I try to make plans, and hopefully it's looking like maybe next year, sometime next year towards the end of the year. Right now, like I said, I'm trying to save for either my Japan trip or my trip to Florida to Walt Disney World. So I'll see how all that goes out. But I definitely do want to go travel to the west side of the United States, specifically to California and San Diego. So it's definitely a possibility for next year. I would have enough money saved up. It was around late last year when he'd started to wonder about his power. Whoa, what power? It was a certain rumor on one of Chan's occult boards that made him really start to realize what he had. The name he'd chosen for his stream subtly reflected this. So he has a power, something occult. Then I learned that I can see the future. He took out a knife to cut the cheese. Who cut the cheese? San Diego is kind of far from me, but I have a car, so I can go. Nice. But like I said, it's not like it's a possibility that I could visit both places. There's places where I want to go in California and places where I want to go to San Diego. So I'll have to make arrangements, whatever I make those trips. But I know I've already signed up for the Comic-Con thing. But for as far as friends in Cali, I've told them like I'll have to figure out an Airbnb, what's it called? Airbnb, whatever. And the place I want to go in particular in Cali, I forgot, there was this resort that I saw too that I wanted to go to. There's something in California, something to do with Disney. I forgot what it was, but there's something over there that I wanted to go. Anyways, there was a strange sound. Huh? He thought he just imagined it when... Knock, 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 knock. He heard it again. It was coming from the door. Someone was clearly knocking on his door. Huh? Jungle? Maybe? Suspicious, he walked towards the door to answer, then checked the clock. It was 11:41 p.m. Not exactly normal delivery hours. Oh, come on, I'm streaming right now. He tried to ignore it. But it's kind of like when they knocked on my fucking door. Wait a minute. I can show you the views over here. Not safe for work, Rule 34 Disney. What the fuck? You should just go to San Fran, see Nani. There's shit. Twin Peaks and where you can see the bridge, hella good, and from other ones. There's something with Disney though. So there's Walt Disney World in Florida, but there's something else in California. I know there's Bear Mountain, right, or something like that. But there's something else, Walt Disney World and Disney something. I forgot what it was. They have something over there with Harry Potter or some shit, right? I think that's what it is. The knocking continued. It was the same rhythm at the same pace. No, there's something in California though with Disney. There's something in California with Disney. No, Universal Studios is in Florida. No, but there's something in California, bro, with Disney. There's something. As if the visitor's goal wasn't to come inside, but simply to make that sound. Utani felt a bit creeped out. He decided to go to the intercom camera and see who it was, but then realized that would be pointless. Only the auto-locking door on the first floor had a camera. The door to Utani's room on the 5th floor had an intercom but no camera. Utani gave up. Damn it, if you want something, push the intercom button. Motherfuckers keep knocking on the door. What the fuck is going on? Maybe it's a drunk. No, the knocks were too steady for that. and there was no voice yelling at him to open up. He'd seen this door a million times, but suddenly it looked somehow different. Someone he didn't know was on the other side of the wall, demanding entry in the middle of the night. Somehow, this made the door seem intimidating. Utani thought he might look through the peephole to see who was outside. He was then disgusted to find himself too scared to even get close to the door. Wait, the intercom didn't have a camera, but it did have a microphone. He turned toward the living room so he could use the intercom and find out what they wanted. Utani, it's me. Sorry to come by so suddenly. He stopped when he heard that voice. It's me. I'm very sorry to bother you at this hour. Utani tried to remember who the speaker was, but found he couldn't. But from the tone of the voice and the words, they probably weren't a weirdo. When they said I'm sorry, it sounded like they really meant it. Utani sighed softly with relief, and then realized he was still carrying the knife he had been using to cut the cheese. It suddenly felt stupid to feel so nervous. He quickly laid the knife on top of the sink. Right, I'll open it now. Who is it? It's me. Don't you remember? Don't you remember? The voice simply repeated itself. But who are you? Utani whispered to himself as he opened the door. Who the fuck's at my door? Who the fuck is this bitch ass? Bro, so this fucking legit straight ass weeaboo started talking in broken Japanese. Then I humiliated him by actually talking in good Japanese, and he legit just looked away and left. I low-key want to go camping. I want to try fishing. So it is Nani. I actually like I think I told you I go camping a lot. Sometimes by myself, or I go with my pops. We sometimes go hunting. We don't longer use guns to go camping. So we actually not like heavy guns, but like, you know, regular guns that are used for hunting, like deer, turkeys and stuff like that, quails and whatnot. But now we just only stick to bow and arrow. At least I'm very good at the bow and arrow. My dad is not that good with that, so my dad usually just goes to go fishing. We definitely go fishing. It's fun. At first it's very slow. It depends. It's mostly people do it for escaping society and like places like big cities, and they just want to go and just have a time for themselves. You usually do it to go think, to meditate. And while you're doing that, you're fishing, you're just out there one with nature, if that makes sense. It's very peaceful. That's what I take away from it. It's very peaceful. It's very serene. You're just out there and you're just thinking. You're just clearing your mind. Yeah, you are thinking of other shit, and you're just like, you just kind of like find a way for you to think about problems, trying to figure them out, and you solve them. And you're just like have a more clear mind. You clear things out in your head, and you're just, it's to me, it's very peaceful. That's the takeaway. Camping is fun too, especially if you go out to cook stuff, like cooking meats on the grill or on the fire. It could get very cold at nights and whatnot. I like especially when it's raining, because it's like the whole experience of being one with nature and getting away from technology. It's very relieving. At least to me it is. If it was up to me, I could stay a whole fucking month, but usually I go camping for like a week, 3 days, depends. But it's pretty good. I catch and release. I catch and release only because most of these fish, you don't know, even if they are from good rivers, good water, you don't know what they have, my boy. A lot of these fishes nowadays is not too safe to eat them, to be quite honest with you. So I'd rather bring my own meat from the supermarket. And plus, I can't eat seafood, so I usually bring beef and pork, but I usually catch and release just for the sport. Utani narrowed his eyebrows at the people standing there. He looked them up and down, and then looked at their faces again. Their eyes met. Seafood hella good. It is. Seafood is hella good, but that's what got me sick. I used to eat a lot of seafood, and this one particular fish had a virus that doesn't affect fish, and it ended up affecting my immune system. So now I can't eat no types of seafood. I get hives and I could die from eating seafood. So now I can't eat seafood. I have to carry EpiPen with me wherever I go. Unfortunately, that fucking messed me up. Supposedly there's a cure now, but it's fucking expensive. It's like what, $5,000 or something. You have to put an injection on yourself every 3 months or 6 months. It costs $5,000. I'm like, nah, fuck out of here. Hell no. I'm good. Well, yeah, I'm fucked if the end of the world comes, because I won't be able to eat seafood. At least I can eat synthetic crab meat. I can eat chicken in a can that tastes like tuna. Who are you guys? Utani suddenly felt a piercing headache. What's going on? Wait a minute, the game just got all weird. Utani closed his eyes and put his right hand up to his temple. He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. He staggered and quickly put his other hand against the wall to keep from falling over. The pain was like the old days when he'd overdosed on antidepressants, but much more intense. He grit his teeth against the pain and dug his nails into the wall that was holding him up, as he waited for the pain on his fingers to help dull the pain in his mind. Mr. Utani, are you okay? He heard a voice he'd heard many times before and felt a concerned hand on his shoulder. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him. Yeah, I'm fine. This just happens sometimes lately. Overwork, perhaps? You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself too hard. You're always such a warrior. I'm fine. Come in. You're missing out on, I used to eat that a lot when I was a little kid. Lobsters, crabs, clams, octopus. I used to eat shark. I used to eat also a whole bunch of, salmon. I used to have a whole bunch of stuff. I never said that I never ate it. I used to eat all of that stuff. Like I said, unfortunately, I used to eat frog legs. I can still eat alligator. Alligator doesn't count as seafood. It's just that unfortunately, like I said, I ended up catching that virus from that fucking fish, and when the doctors did an allergy test, they figured all of that out, and you know, it is what it is at this point. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain as he let his important guests inside. As he turned his back on his guests, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them, or maybe not. It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they last met. It already felt long because he'd wanted to see them so badly. I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck is in California that's related to Disney. I know there's something. Anyway, alright. It was nice of you to come by, but I'm streaming. Welcome to Coco's crib. Bring. While he was out here, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. Oh, don't worry. How the fuck you offer cheese to your guests? Like, hey, come here. I'm streaming right now. I'm doing a streaming of a game right now, but I am cutting some cheese. Would you like a piece of cheese? Motherfucker's gonna look at me like, I don't want your fucking piece of cheese. Oh, don't worry about us. Yeah. Well, I'm off to go to read my manga. Might read the manga for this instead because it's faster. I ate a live octopus before. It was weird. I ate live clams. Live clams are actually delicious with a little bit of salt and lemon. You would like this, Loco Doken, actually. No, I can't do that to you guys. What's wrong? No, it's nothing. The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. He cut into its surface and it made an unpleasant sound he'd never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't go further. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but it only cut in slightly deeper. It was as if there was something hard inside the cheese. And even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm. Damn it! What's going on with this thing? Wait a minute, something strange is happening here. Bro, clam's hella good. It's all lemon tapatio. Oh my god, yes. Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. But all it did was bash it in a little bit. He couldn't cut through it. God. I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. They had another knife. When did they get that out? There's a trick to cutting this thing. They put the knife up against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Utani, their voices slightly low. Utani realized they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up by the streaming microphone, and lowered his voice as well. Coco, so you use an electric brush? Or I use a regular brush only because sometimes electrical brushes might be better to a certain extent, but regular brushes I use the middle I forgot what it's called. It's called medium rough or something like that. Just because I know I can get certain places whatnot better than the electric brush. I would use an electric brush because it has a good pressure on your teeth. Though that too as well. That too. He grinned and nodded. His guest had introduced him to a firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers. This job's all about predicting trends, so it's perfect for me. I can't lose. Then why do these streams? It's hard to say. I guess you could say I'm trying to see how far I can go. That's right. His powers wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do. No one's done this before, so I can't ask anybody about it, you know? So I want to do everything I can by myself. Or am I sounding like a show-off? No, it's wonderful, I think, and done. After he smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny looking, but the even slices were lined up neatly on the plate. Would you use those white strips things on your teeth? I'm thinking I've used them before. They actually do work. You have to be consistent with them. Right now I can't do anything about my teeth whitening them more than they're supposed to be because I'm still using my Invisalign, my invisible braces. So once I'm done with this treatment, which will be in about another month or so, they're gonna whiten my teeth professionally at my dentist. So I'm looking forward to that. Then I get to use my what's it called? I forgot the name of the thing after braces, what you have to wear every night. Sorry to make you help like that. It's nothing, go on, I'll wait until your stream is finished. Thanks. If you want something from the fridge, grab it. Oh, but be quiet. Utani took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late," and "Did he log off?" What should have only been 3 minutes had turned into more than 15. Utani put a bite of the cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly. So sorry, I bought this cheese on sale and it's just so incredibly hard. He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up the act of being poor and starving. And as he hopped, the comments started to come in. I heard you have new hobbies. This is weird. Nikoya was always a little like this, right? Shake, shake. This is making me sick. What happened? I'm very worried. Yeah, stop it. Disgusting. I can't read the comments. Utani's face took a confused expression. My teeth are hella white. When I was young, I would never like to brush my teeth and shit like a skink. Then I seen my dad, who had a ball in his mouth because of his teeth, and had motivated me to brush his teeth. Had a ball? Like what kind of ball? Well, yeah. You have to brush your teeth, man. Females love motherfuckers who got clean teeth and their breath smells good, because if not... The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake poor room. Is something wrong? He spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make any sense. They were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his right hand out toward it. In an instant, his headache was back. It was the same pain as before, no worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. But the pain in his head was so bad that he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason his right hand wouldn't move. So instead he pushed his other hand up against his temple. What the fuck is going on? It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen and it felt like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. What the fuck is going on? Are you following this, Nani? I don't know, like a ball or something, cause his teeth, and would be crying cause of the pain. Oh, you mean he had like a cavity? Yeah, like a cavity. Teeth pain is really bad, man. If you eat a lot of candies, you're gonna start having cavities. They have to start putting those plaque thingies in your teeth. You can also have crowns. It's really bad if you have really bad teeth. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then that he realized he was crying. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now, too. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat upon the plate in roughly his arm's original shape. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. What the fuck is going on here? He still didn't understand that it was really his own arm, but sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What kind of prank was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth. He vomited. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. The fuck? He saw something solid in the middle of it. It was a thumb. Oh my god, this motherfucker ate his arm? It's hella hot over here, bruh. Nah, but she's been working with her for 2 months. In 2 months, you should know it. It takes usually people 3 to 6 months to learn everything like that. It was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid, but horribly. He remembered it. What? When had he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned towards the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening. But of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filling with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. As the whole world turned red, Utami didn't even realize that his lips were turning purple. What a sideshow. This is so creepy. Let's calm down. I don't usually comment now, but I have things. She says the same questions to bruh. Some people just take longer to learn than others. It's just like that. I've had coworkers that took them like 8 months to learn the same shit, and they kept making the same mistake. They got let go. Unfortunately, because they couldn't catch up. His lips had turned purple from lack of oxygen, but were stained red with blood from his severed thumb, which he had chewed himself. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious, and tears fell from his eyes. The tears seemed pink to him. Utami was weeping blood. He died, still facing the camera. His guest watched the chain of events unfold, then silently headed for the door. Just before they left the room, goodbye. Yo, what kind of shit is this? They said as if nothing at all was wrong and shut the door. Yo, what kind of shit is this? What the fuck? God, what the hell? Extra saucy. Talk about desperate to get followers. I'm bored. Go back to the usual stream. What the fuck? Are you seeing this? Yeah, she's gonna get let go. I bet she's gonna get fired. Bet says her boss can be moody and shit. A lot of bosses are like that, unfortunately. In every corporate company that you work with, no matter who you report to, no matter who you work for, unless you become a millionaire, you're always gonna work under somebody, and unfortunately, it's not always gonna be cut and dry, roses and dandy whenever you work somewhere, you know? September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Whew. Momone Takayanagi had finished her concert. Like always, she stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all of that was done could she take a break. There wasn't much time left before her solo street concert, but she still had to help anyway. She'd always been like that. Even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. It was like in middle school, when one of her friends who wasn't as good at studying asked her for the test notes. Or in high school, when a girl she knew asked her how to make Valentine's chocolates for a boy she really liked. She stayed up so many nights her own test grades were worse than her friends, and she didn't have even anyone to give chocolate to on Valentine's Day. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility, not hers, but basically, I'm just a huge wuss. Momone Takayanagi was, at heart, scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. The concert today was another big success. Coco, Medieval is coming. Yes, I saw Medieval is coming, the remastered version. I'm gonna have to get that. Medieval was one of those games I grew up with, and oh my god, it was an amazing game. Nintendo had the rights initially, I think, and it came out. It came out for PlayStation. Yeah, I remember that. Medieval was an awesome game. Sure, it was a tiny room that could only fit 150 people or so, standing room only, but tickets were 3,000 yen. High for a band with an amateur vocalist like her, and they still sold out instantly. It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She'd heard sobs during the ballad, and during one of the high-tempo songs, the audience had stood up all the way to the back row. This is impossible. She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. They started out in the Nikoniya Sangit category and kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. What the fuck? I think we can play with each other. Coco, what that Mario Kart game is out for. Oh, it's out for mobile already? Oh shit, nice. I want to play it. That's from Nintendo too. I've been dying to play that shit. Wait a minute, is it really out? Wait a minute. If it's out, we could definitely play with each other, and I can definitely play that shit on stream. But I forgot to put my reminder for that. Mario Kart. Let me see. Mario Kart. Give me 1 second while I get this situated. Hold on. Mario Kart Tour. Yes, they do have it already. Oh shit! I'm gonna install this shit. Yep. We definitely gonna have to play that at some point in the streams. I'm downloading it right now for iOS, but I'm not sure with Android. Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to. I'm gonna check it out. They'd started out in the Nikoniya Sangit category, but had kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could look really good when she wore makeup. And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and acted like idiots, some people would enjoy that. Videos of their concerts and performances pulled a decent number of views online. But Takayanagi noticed the vast majority of the people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concerts. People who'd experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try and feel it again. And Takayanagi knew that they probably wouldn't feel it, even 1% of it. It's just impossible. The ticket prices and audience sizes were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never even questioned it. There has to be something wrong with my voice. When she first realized that this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Even if she couldn't, she at least wanted to stop doing the live shows where people heard her directly. But the others around her wouldn't let that happen. Your voice is amazing, they would tell her. They forced her to keep singing even as the concerts began to terrify her. Takayanagi tried to get out of it, but in the end, she kept giving in. Yeah, how have you played the game, by the way? Do you like it? She owed her fellow band members for getting a plain, dull girl like her into music. And for a while, part of her managed to have fun. But in the end, Takayanagi lacked the tiny bit of courage needed to break out of the cycle. Sigh. She forced herself to get up and head towards the street concert, which she didn't really want to do. She received an email. She read it slowly. No way! She almost dropped her smartphone. She read it again and again, trying to control her shaking hands. It was nothing special, just a simple message about one of the songs she'd made. Good song. Keep it up. No way. Takayanagi tried to stop the tears but couldn't. The band would get too many messages like this to count, especially after concerts. She knew it was rude, but to be honest, she was sick of them. But this email address wasn't for her band, it was one for a site where she had anonymously uploaded original songs. In other words, whoever sent this message hadn't come to her concerts. They'd never heard her voice live or felt its strange power. But they had still said they liked her song. Really? Wiping away tears that wouldn't stop, she quickly wrote a response. That makes me really happy, thank you. Even after she sent it, she kept crying for a while. She hadn't cried this much since the earthquake. And then she stood up. So she was a survivor from those kids. Stupid things! Stupider thingaroo! She took her costumes for a day's concert out of her bag, balled them up, ballin', and threw them into the trash. It was a white caped outfit worn by some angel character in some anime. Certain fans really loved it, but she didn't care about it at all. I wonder if it's like a gacha game. What if they don't have Luigi? Wait, what do you mean? Why would they not have Luigi? They always gotta have Luigi. They have to have everybody, the main characters. She took a wet towel off a nearby table and violently wiped away her makeup. I think I'm okay with being a scarecrow. She was never wearing another cape or putting on makeup to look like an anime character again. Never, she said aloud. She realized she was more excited than she'd ever been before. And then she started to realize what she wanted to do. I guess I could just leave Shibuya. I'm sure things are going to get messy here. What would happen if she said she was going to quit the band? It'd cause trouble for a lot of people, definitely. Her band was scheduled to play in the Restoration Festival. But even so, she never wanted to sing at another concert. I shouldn't use the street where I've done shows, or my fans will see me. Wait, I'll be fine with this face. She laughed and kissed her smartphone. Oh, wow. This is so much fun. You little bitch, I'm fucking with you. She couldn't wait to get home and start fiddling with her music. Over the web, she could really share her music with others. As long as they weren't hearing her voice live, it would be fine. If she just played a recording from a speaker, for example. I've got a small speaker in my house, don't I? That's right. She'd leave Shibuya, and when she had a few more songs, she could record them and play them at a street concert. That speaker was small enough that she could fit it under her clothes to fool people. It would be rude to do the same song every time, so each time she re-recorded at home. What the fuck is going on here? They always exclude that. Why? Luigi? But Luigi's always good. Nah, I think they exclude him from like big games. But I don't think for Mario Kart. I highly doubt it. There was a knock at the door. One of the staffers, maybe? Oh, jeez. I'm coming. She smiled and answered them. Now that she'd thrown away her clothes, her bag was lighter than she'd ever imagined it could be. That lightness made her think about the future. She was happy. Do you think it's the same individuals that knocked on the door from the other guy? Hi. Coming. Takayanagi happily danced towards the door, completely ignorant of what was on the other side. The fuck? September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Shortly after she finished, she was walking through Shibuya. She had a limp and dragged one leg behind her as if it was injured. Wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? Wait. Her bangs were unnaturally long. Most of her face was covered by them. She wore a dark colored dress that seemed to melt into the night, and above it, a bright red cardigan. Her chest, arms, and legs were almost completely covered. Despite the fact that the night was still warm, she wore gloves as if it were a sin to show any skin at all. Those eyes were so weird. I wonder what she did to herself. Digital native. Takuru Miyashiro. For example, let's say you asked a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? Most would say yes, or I've heard of it. You know what? We've been playing this for like a fucking hour. I think I want to leave it there. I'm going to leave this story for next time. Holy shit though, like the first two stories have just left me captivated about what the fuck is going on with this world. Obviously this is focusing around every freaking kid who survived that horrible earthquake. Apparently there's something going on behind the earthquake being supposedly man-made or being artificial, and whoever caused this earthquake is actually messing with the minds of those kids who grew up. Apparently this disease is called Chaos Child Syndrome. So these kids are growing up, but they're not growing up normal, and when they become adult age or young adult in a sense, they are being somehow manipulated by a group of individuals or a individual, and it's making them do something or taking advantage of their psychological status to make them do things that are morbid, and they're actually meeting a fatal end in regards to this. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen moving forward with the game and how each of these stories unravel. It's just really interesting. So far I haven't seen any action, and that's okay with me. I've been captivated by the stories so far, so it's kind of like doing a spooky Macanonis but of just reading tales. So I'm mad, it's hella hot and I'm trying to play Black Desert. Didn't Black Desert just do a maintenance right now? I'll have to check it. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Nani enjoyed Black Desert. Let me know in the Discord if you have any questions. I'm gonna leave it there for now. If you're new to the channel, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And if you are already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button. With that being said, boys and girls, I'm gonna leave it there. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you next time, and we'll continue on with more Chaos Child. Have a great day and have a wonderful day at school tomorrow. Be safe, and I'll see you next time. As always, I appreciate your viewership. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're already subscribed or you're new to the channel, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. It really does help out my channel a lot. Have a wonderful night, boys and girls. See you next time.